give this a moment. And you know what? As a courtesy, I will start um, notifying the support group. All right. I'll start doing that moving forward, starting with tomorrow's live. Giving this a moment. I hope everybody is all well. This is definitely the end of my day. I had a good day. Woo! Still watching All the Queen's Men. Really getting into it. I know I'm probably like, they're like, you just now finding out about that? Yes, honey. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I always enjoy finding a good show. You know? Hey, I'm sorry, Yvette, right? Yvette. I'm just not used to seeing that San Diego with you. But hola, sweetie. You know, my best friend in high school was Puerto Rican, so and I definitely took Spanish 1 and 2. But welcome you guys to tonight's live. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to talk about it. And of course, these are great times to ask questions. Hey, Cynthia, Ava, how are you doing, sweetie? Yeah. All right. How's everybody doing? Good, good. Yeah, these live chats, they're really fun, you know? They're really fun. They're therapeutic, you know? Hopefully you guys are learning at least something every time you, join in here. That's the point, you know, to learn something. All right, so I think we can just hop into the 3 things that they do, right? Yeah, I think we can hop into that part of it first. So, 3 things that narcissists are guaranteed to do, baby. Okay. And I like to keep it fresh. So, anything that I've generally said on this channel, I'm not trying to be saying that. And you're like, wow, after 1,000 videos, you got something fresh to say? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So, and if I did say it, I damn sure ain't say it in this way. Okay. So, I don't like to be repeating myself. I don't. But yeah, so number 1, one thing a narcissist is definitely guaranteed to do is abuse their access to you. Oh yeah. That's what they're doing basically from day 1 by wearing a mask and pretending to be something that they're not, right? They're abusing access because they don't respect boundaries. They're abusing their access to you by triangulating you, you know, by trying to put you in competition with other people. Shoot, literally, like they could just be literally abusing their access to you by just literally abusing you. Like, like you could just take that real literal as well, unfortunately. But a narcissist is going to abuse their access to you in one way or another by having you carry more, you know, by not reciprocating, by burdening you, by having you pull more of the weight. You know, this is abusing access as well. By not accepting your no's, that's abusing your access to you, you know. So, yep, a narcissist in one way or another, some shape, form, or fashion, they will be abusing their access to you. All right. Number 2, they basically trigger you by stressing you out. And through stressing you out is making you sabotage your own life. You know how you're just so, somebody brings a lot of turmoil and drama into your life, and it's just triggering the worst side of you. you know, breaking down your spirit, draining your energy. So they're definitely going to trigger you by stressing you out. And then you have so much stress, you're just trying to alleviate that. You can't even get to regular shit in your life. Yeah, Cynthia says, yes, they are stress inducing. Of course, you know, they have that dark cloud over them and they're doing what they think is in their best interest, which is never in yours, right? So they're definitely not moving with any type of empathy or consideration to your feelings and, you know, what you should and shouldn't be doing. So they're definitely going to be triggering you and using stress to sabotage your life. Mm-hmm. You know, you're like, you could be in a situation to where you have a job interview, they're stressing you out the night before, you can't even think straight, you're losing out on time on preparation, you know, stuff like that. You're not going to be optimized in your creativity and your endeavors if you got somebody just constantly stressing you out. Like, if they can do that to you, you'll start sabotaging your own life at that point, because when you're running off of stress is a lot different than running off of peace, you know? Like, that's why you got to protect your peace. That's why people say protect your peace at all costs. Okay? But yeah, it's some things that happen with your interactions with them, you end up inadvertently doing it, but it's because you let this person into your energy. And it's almost like now you're doing the work for them. You know, they've done their job by just getting you to this breaking point, breaking you down enough, right? So yeah, they're definitely going to use stress to trigger you to sabotage your own life. And that's really messed up. Cynthia Ava says, I was dealing with a narc partner and his whole family at the time. And I had a new baby. Lord. Yes. Yeah. Family members were narcissists, right? Yep. So the apple wasn't far from the tree, right? That's when, I mean, unless I had to legally go in and out of court with them for some reason, I was summoned to court, that's when you just got to shut that whole thing down and make a boundary. And if you're not adding to me and my baby's peace, I can't fuck with you. And that's how it would have to be for me. Because that's a lot. Especially in a new baby, to be in that type of energy and environment. Yeah. She said I did. I shut it down, right? Cynthia put up her boundary. Okay. Yeah. But yep, stress. Like, I believe that's even like, isn't that like military tactic? They'll try to stress out the person that they have in captive, and they stress them out so bad they can break them down to get information about the other side, you know? Yeah. There's something to that for sure. Cynthia Bio says, I left a narc recently after 21 years. Ooh, girl. I am not fully no contact, but I realized that my sister is sabotaging me. Also, she has a reputation as a good person, but she bullies me and competes with me. Yeah, sometimes the narcissist, you know, a lot of channels focus on the romantic side of things, but the original narcissist in our life, they're very oftentimes a family member. That's a fact. So is the narc that you left or that you're putting a distance to your sister? Is that the person that you're keeping at arm's distance? Or are we talking about two separate people here? And as far as her sabotaging you, now that you know that she's sabotaging you, like, aren't you able to stop it now? And, you know, basically Cynthia's saying her sister is a covert narcissist because she has a good reputation in the public's eyes, but she bullies you. Yeah, I would like to know while you're allowing that to go on, Cynthia. We have two Cynthias in the live chat. We got Cynthia Ava and Cynthia Bile. Or Beal. Cynthia Ava, that's the one who had the baby with the narcissist family. She said it took 3 years, but you did it. Yeah. So by the time the child was 3 years old, or 3 years, and then you had the baby, or becoming a mother, gave you that extra motivation to make the boundaries. Ava, yeah, Ava. So I'm gonna call. That's what I'm gonna do with you too. I'll call you by your last names, your username, last name. Okay. So Bill says, yeah, yep. She was pointing it out. Yep. Great minds. I'm here with you guys. I'm paying attention. Ava says, my younger brother is a narcissist. I had to go no contact because it was too toxic. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes it's like that, you know. Some people have the mentality that blood is thicker than water, or, you know, just because someone is related to you in your family tree, that you have to give them undying loyalty, unlimited access to you, no matter how many times they're betraying you, going against you. I don't come from that rule of thumb. Like, titles only have a weight when the person is earning the weight of that title. Meaning, like, if you really my brother, be my brother. You know, be my brother's keeper. But if you're being a Judas and you're my brother, I'm not going to acknowledge, like, yeah, you're still my brother, but I can't fuck with you like that. Especially after we grown. Yeah. Okay, so Bill is saying it was a male narcissist, and also she's becoming aware that her sister as well. Yeah. The thing is, a lot of times once we get in these romantic relationships, it actually makes like a full circle where we start to identify the other narcissists, typically the family and friends. Yep. Yep. You have to wait. I'm on a live. So Ava says, yes, I got much stronger. Motherhood made me a warrior. Yep. I don't take any from nobody anymore. Right, right, right. And that's a good thing. Bill says, but I have to live with my sister for now and realize she has narc tendencies. I'm depressed and retired, need to find work to leave. Oh, God. Yeah, I would definitely be working on that. And you really don't have any other options? No other family members? Because now that you're saying you're retired, it sounds like it's just you, right? I would definitely be tapping into a lot of my resources and limit my interactions with her. Bio says many people, after being romantically with a narc and researching, then realize they had more narcs in their lives. Yeah, yeah. It becomes easier to identify with that energy. It's like they open your eyes in a certain way. Ava says, yes, I noticed I was drawn to narcissists because they were in my family and they were all around me. Actually, now I'm pretty much alone and I'm okay with that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm very introverted myself, you guys. I do not deal with a lot of people. Like, with my kids, I've rented out whole venues for their birthday party and it's just us there. They're like, you rented this whole building out just for you guys? Yeah, I did. I did. I really did do that. I want them to still have the experience, but we don't have a lot of people around us. And that works well for me because the more people you bring into your life, the more you're actually exposing yourself to. You have to be so careful, especially those of you of the light, you know, because narcissists, they love your energy. They love it. Ava says, I truly believe it's a demonic spirit that attaches itself to certain types of people. They feed off of us. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And there's a spiritual side to narcissistic abuse. You know, people talk about the physical things that happen, but there's definitely a spiritual side to it. And that's why the healing process could be so daunting, because it's your spirit and your soul that has to recover from these interactions. And you were damn sure in contact with demonic entities. They were trying to bring you down. All right. Ava says the enemy comes to kill and steal and destroy is right from the Bible. Absolutely. And we're all vessels, and narcissists are just vessels, you know, for the darkness. Point blank, period. But back to my list, you guys. So we talked about number one thing that the narcissist is guaranteed to do is abuse their access to you. You know, they'll take advantage of it, exploit it, manipulate it, all of that. The second thing I was talking about, their use of stress to have you sabotage yourself in your own life. Like, you know, you're not operating at your fullest capacity. You're not clear-minded, you know. The more they could dim your light, drain you in some type of way, you'll be sabotaging your own self. And that's just literally, and then physiologically, you know, the stress that's building up inside of your body. Like this year, I've been like really focused on releasing trauma from my own body. You know, I've gotten to that part of my evolution and my emotional maturity. I'm like, okay, Lakia, you do realize a lot of psychological things. You're pretty emotionally mature when it comes to that. And I really wanted to take, like, over the last 6 months and going forward, I've been like laser focused on researching and also just releasing trauma from my body. You know, like my mind is, you know, the mind is following. My body is now following my mind, but you know, this is like my path and my journey. But yeah, I'm very focused on that. I find that when I get stressed, I feel it in my stomach first. Like I literally will feel the stress in my stomach almost within seconds. Like if someone comes to me and their energy is really heavy and toxic, let's say they're trying to argue with me, or they're, what? No, let me call Jada, because this is I hear some chaos, by the way. Hopefully Jada is up. I didn't want to take this off my charger. Hello? Oh. Sorry, you guys. Making an important phone call. Let's see. And hold on, Ava. I see you asked me, how do you do that? Hello? Hey, Isaiah, can you get Jada up here with the twins? Like, it sounds like something's going on in there. And I'm live on my channel. I didn't want to mute you guys. Like, we're just keeping it real. Have him come up and check on them. And if they need to, you could just take them downstairs while I finish this live if you have to, okay? Right away. Come up. Thank you. All right. Yeah, that's crazy. I literally put them to bed, and I don't know what they're transpiring to. Nothing like, you know, that type of dangerous, but I just want them to be quiet. I want them in the background, like they're in the jumble gym. But, yeah, Cynthia was asking me, how do you do that? Release trauma from the body. Woo, girl. And this goes out like I've had, let me go back to what I was saying. Let me finish that thought. I realize in my core, like the stomach is the core of your body. When I would get stressed, it really would go straight to my stomach. It would get tight and start twisting almost within seconds. And during times where I really get stressed, I will almost feel sharp pains as well. And I'm like, oh my God, I'll shut it down immediately, but then it would take a moment for me to actually relax and calm my body down from the tension. And I'm like, wow. And I almost feel like it's a learned behavior through all of these, my years on this earth, 42. And I wasn't feeling it. Of course, headaches could be a sign of holding the trauma in your body. And I know we kind of diverted the conversation, but it's a good conversation to divert into, all right? Sometimes people think the emotional eating, a lot of times other aches and pains in your body is stress. That's why you're like, oh my God, I'm tight. It's tight in my neck. It's tense, Stress, that's why they say stress kills, because it has a physical and physiological effect on your body. You're releasing cortisone, which makes you have more belly fat. It's a serious thing, you guys. It's more than just getting this person out of your life for, basic reasons. There's higher level things that are going on here that are affecting your body, even if you don't feel like it's affecting you right then and there, But as far as releasing trauma from the body, it's an inside job out. Of course, renewing your mind is the first step, because what's the point of beginning to release the trauma if you're going to go out and re-traumatize your body again? It's like, we're releasing it and adding more trauma back in as soon as we get it. We don't want to do that. But it's about having a healthy lifestyle, because you got to think about it. You're having these sleepless nights, you're up stressing about a relationship, or you're up having PTSD because you're replaying traumatic experiences. You can't focus right. You may lose an appetite, or you may gain too much appetite. It's a lot of things, affecting you on a physical level. Your sleep schedule is off. You may fall into a depression where you don't even want to get out of bed. Now you're not going to the gym, or you're not working out. You're not moving your body. You don't feel like cooking for yourself. A lot of healthy, of course, you can buy a lot of meals, and there's a lot of even prepackaged companies now that deliver it to your doorsteps. But a lot of healthy eating is getting up and cooking for yourself and controlling the ingredients in your food, picking out the source of your food, the quality of your meat, and everything like that. And when you're energetically drained, you don't want to make the extra steps. You're going for convenience. You're eating fast food. You just, or if you're eating at all, the trauma in your body could be any other types of addictions, alcohols and drugs, that you're putting inside of your body to try to numb yourself or escape your pain for whatever time. So part of releasing the trauma from the body is, first of all, acknowledging that it's there. You got to know that it's there, and starting to be gentle with yourself. Like I said, like I've been starting to say in my live chats, treat your heart like a newborn baby. Would you let anybody hold it? Just start being gentle with your body, because it's harsh. It's very harsh to put yourself in certain environments. And I'm talking to adults. A lot of times children, they don't have a lot to say. But for you adults out there, choosing toxic lovers, choosing toxic friends, not knowing how to de-stress, holding stuff in. So a part of releasing the trauma from the body is, going through a grieving process and getting to acceptance. Because when you can accept something, you're in a place to be able to release it on a certain level to where it's not burdening you. is not weighing you down. Eating right, staying hydrated, like looking up on how the body works, detoxing yourself. That's a way of releasing trauma from the body. And when I say detox, that could be by alkalining yourself by like drinking a lot of lemon water. It could be by clearing out your intestines. It could be just researching different things to clean. Like I feel like stress, I mean, it affects the whole body, your heart, your digestion, your brain. So I would be eating nurturing things that are good for those organs. Like I would start having healthy touches. Like I would go get massages. I love foot massages, by the way. But if you have a good masseuse, that know how to do a healing touch on the bottom of the feet, it actually, if you look at a reflexology chart of the foot, it shows you what organs each part of your foot triggers or stimulates. That's the word I was looking for. So, you had unhealthy touches, from this narcissist, especially those of you who had domestic violence or the R word, those soothing massages really help. It's really dedicating yourself to somewhat of a soft life. It's really putting yourself ahead of, like just being a gentleman to yourself, ladies, and even men, taking care of yourself. It's the highest level of self-care, because a lot of times you could lose yourself in these toxic relationships and you realize you weren't taking care of yourself. You were, giving up parts of those slots little by little to give more energy and time to that situation. And before you knew it, there's not even any time for yourself. Releasing the trauma from the body is definitely exercising. Like that's a great way to counter depression and, getting yourself moving, because all that tension, you're moving it around to release it. You're releasing it by burning the calories and by sweating it out. That's a form of detoxing as well. Meditation is a great way. That's one of the part of releasing trauma from the body. Taking time to meditate. Yep, that's going to be a way. Just releasing out anything that you got pent up. Allowing yourself to be yourself. That's definitely going to be releasing trauma. Because, not trying to people please, like I am what I am, getting lots of rest. Laughter is the fountain of youth, you guys, releasing trauma. I love comedies, I love comedies. So there are lots of ways to release trauma from the body. Being out in nature, I don't want to, to me, that's spiritual. I hugged a tree the other day. Yes, I have. And I said, you could find these spots too. If you have a beautiful yard and you want to just do it there, you can. But I literally have places I go to that I know people just don't think like this. I have places where I feel like they have the best grass, and I go there and I do something called grounding. I take off my shoes and I walk on that beautiful grass and I feel electrified. Like we actually have more of a connection to nature than we realize. And the more that you get on a healthy journey, you'll start realizing these connections. Like, did you know the water in the ocean have all of the minerals that we have in the water inside of our body? It does not mean go drink the ocean water. That's not your drinking water, but this is one of the reasons why they'll tell you to go jump in the ocean water. Like if you had a surgery, and it's very healing for you. That salty water, it's very healing. And some people would spiritually say jump in there because it's almost like taking a salt bath, which is another way to cleanse your body. It is. So Yeah, hug a tree. Like, it might sound silly, but if you reconnect with nature, I love to go on nature walks. Like, go walk a trail safely. Don't be doing no look. Don't be going to walk a trail at 5 a.m. by yourself. And if you really feel a need that you got to do that, you better have some mace with you and possibly a license to carry. Like, do things safely, but you can be in nature and still be safe. Make sure you're getting your vitamin levels are right, because, stress and abuse and trauma throws your body off of whack. Make sure your vitamin D3 is good. That actually fights against cancer, by the way. Zinc and magnesium. These things people do look into it with depression and make sure that those levels are right. But you can just start taking them. Look, I'm sitting here on the side of my bed, you guys. You see this right here? This is full of my vitamins. I have all the vitamins you can think of in there. And I don't take them all at the same time, but I rotate them. It's only like certain ones that I definitely take every day. I take my vitamin D3 every day, okay? Because darker skinned people do not absorb the sun as well. And if you work in an office and you're not in the sunlight a lot, you may not be getting as much vitamin D3. So it's really having good quality water. I'm not telling you guys that love to drink tap water, that it's horrible, but it could be a lot better. I'm very picky on the water that I drink. Start juicing. They say if you start eating plants and stuff, they'll be communicating with you. Like, it'll make you sharper. It literally, because you're eating healthy, you're eating from nature. So it's really about a lifestyle change. Releasing the trauma from the body is about a lifestyle change. And it's also about learning how to protect yourself. But it's also learning how to de-stress yourself in a healthy manner and learning how to self-soothe in a healthy manner as well. Okay? I'm not saying that you can't never enjoy, look, a glass of red wine is wonderful. I love red wine. A piece of dark chocolate is good. It's good for you. A handful of almonds is good for you. So it's just having complete self-care down to the stuff that I bathe myself. Like, I have a whole routine, you guys. I wear less and less makeup, honestly. I will, I'll do it when I want to. But I just have a lot of self-care. It's really having the ultimate self-care and staying dedicated to that and being unapologetic about it. I love me, and I love using good soaps. I love, moisturizing my face, dropping my serums in there. I love doing that for myself, and I feel good. Moisturizing, your skin is the biggest organ of your body. So releasing the trauma is really about, like I said, having the ultimate self-care, and it all works together. It all works together, and your body will thank you. It's like, oh, wait, it's like watering a plant. It's like you're taking care of us. You're really taking care of us. So we're going to take care of you. You're going to look better. You're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy, Bio says, I have been praying so much and trying to fast. Okay. Make sure, fast in the most healthy way. Because someone close in my life, and I pray for that person, they tried to fast with nothing. Like, not even drinking any water for days in and days out. Talking about God fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. I'm like, that was Jesus. You are a human being. You cannot go 40 days and 40 nights without water. Like, when it comes to fasting and everything, and there are all types of fasts, sometimes it's not just, I'm not going to eat anything, or it could be a fast where I'm fasting because it's giving something up, basically. I'm fasting from junk food. I'm fasting from certain types of sugars and bad carbs. Shoot, I'm fasting from the drama. I'm fasting from social media. You know, it could be all types of things. I'm fasting from TV. Shoot, I'm fasting from toxic ass relationships forever. So, you know, there's all types of fasts, but I do feel that meditation and prayer is like the best way to hear God's voice and to tap into your discernment and your guts and to get lots of downloads, okay? But yeah, that's good, Bob, that you've been praying and trying to fast. I know it's so hard, especially if you're a parent and you're just constantly around food. But the funny thing is, when you really want to do something, you're going to do it. You'll see that it won't really be as hard as you think because your mind is just so set on it. Like, there's no other way. You know, like nowadays, I'm surrounded by mad junk food and I barely indulge in it. I don't want it because guess what? When I start having the proper vitamins inside of my body, certain type of cravings go away. You know, I don't have everything memorized, but there's some really excellent doctors, even here on YouTube, like 4 million subscribers and stuff. They give a lot of good advice, you know. And like when you have a lot of sugar cravings, usually these certain types of cravings are letting you know that there's a vitamin or nutrient that you're not getting enough of. You figure out what that is and you start getting enough of it, your cravings will start to go down from it, for sure. Chosen says, can one cause trauma by also thinking negatively about your self-worth? Yeah, inadvertently that can cause a trauma because what happens is if you're thinking negative about your self-worth, you're going to choose people that are beneath you. You're going to settle for abusive people. So by not thinking more of yourself, you're going to pick lesser people. And those lesser people are the narcissists that are going to inadvertently, chances are, cause a trauma in your life. So, you know, it all works together. The more highly you think of yourself, the less you are likely to be putting up with stuff, you know, and that's a fact. April Nail says self-care, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So that's been my number one goal right now in my life, is just really working on releasing the trauma. Like, I have a lot of emotional maturity, you guys. I've done a good season of that, and it's not over because I don't know everything. So I'm always reading and whatnot, but I'm really focused on that part of things, releasing the trauma from my body. Isabel in London says, it's 4:15 a.m. in London. I need to watch you. Yeah, and actually they say, like, I think the normal human body clock is waking up at like 5 a.m. So you're actually not really too bad behind the human body schedule. You know, we don't like getting up that early, but I find, honestly, when I get up in the still of the morning, is so peaceful. Like, and my day is mad productive. Like, when I get up that early, after a reasonable night of rest, of course. But that's something that you have to, like, you know, map out for yourself to know how much sleep you need, you know. Now, we diverted a little bit talking about the trauma from the body, and we talked about the 3 things that narcissists are guaranteed to do. So I guess we can go ahead. I have like a list here of 5 or 6 things that I definitely want you guys to keep in mind. All right. Let me use a pen because I'm going to do these out of order. I'm not going to do them in the order that I wrote them. But the first thing I want to say now, to counter these things, obviously, that the 3 things that narcissists are guaranteed to do, if you pull them in, and there's 911 up there. You really get to decide. Too oftentimes we give our power away to others way too much, all right? So understand that you really do get to decide in your life, and it's okay, you know? It's okay to decide to kick someone out of your kingdom. It's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, this isn't going to work for me any further, you know? I'm trying to understand my messy writing right here. Like, I've done this in other videos throughout the years where I'm like looking at something I just scribbled so fast. But I think what I meant to put here is you don't always have to give people a heads up. You know, you don't always have to extend that to people as well. You know, especially like I'm talking about people abusing their access to you, stressing you and triggering you. Okay. Giving love a bad name. Oh, we didn't even get into the third thing, did we? Because we didn't talk about that. Nope. The third thing I had on my list that a narcissist is guaranteed to do is give love a bad name. You know, give love a bad name. They do, because they're not really loving on us. So that's like an obvious one. They're definitely giving it a bad name. But the whole thing is to keep that experience with a narcissist and not let it jade, of course, what real love is, you know, real love, not what a narcissist calls love. But yeah, you don't always owe people a conversation. Well, you know, I'm going to have to cut you off because you did this and that. You don't have to list all the bulletins and have this proper meeting. Sometimes it's just a sharp cutoff. It's a sharp block. It's a sharp never speaking to them again, you know? Or even if you are in a situation where you feel you should say something, you can keep it short and brief. Because chances are you did enough talking while you were with them. Right? I know you did. I know you told them at least one time, I don't like that. I don't appreciate that. So you don't always have to give a heads up. You don't always have to give a warning. You don't have to be nice about it. You know, they know what they did. They willingly tried it. All right. So you really get to decide. So it kind of works in with the first thing I was saying about you really do get to decide. Take control of it. Don't be a people pleaser. Be okay with that person. I don't care if they want to make it all my fault, or project all their negative qualities, twist the whole narrative, make me mean, rude, nasty, a bitch. Like, let them have the story that they want to tell. Let them, you can have that. You can have that. Just leave me the fuck alone. If you can go write all the stories you want, tell people whatever the fuck you want, just leave me the fuck alone at this point. You know, when you don't care about other people's opinions, you don't need to explain yourself. I don't need to clear nothing the fuck up. You know what I mean? Just all I care about is you leave it. Understand they're going to do what they're going to do, and it's only going to solidify you cutting them the fuck off. Okay? So you don't, and people like that, all they're going to do is take that warning and try to sabotage you, try to talk you off, you know, doing better, elevating from them, leaving them behind. They're going to try to gaslight you and lie. I never did this. I didn't do that. And try to make you question your intuition. There's notification, validation for that statement. So it's just better, especially if you know you've had trauma and you have these soul ties and trauma bonds, and you know you were in a cycle of abuse with them. Don't give them that opportunity to try to get you to drop that bag. You know, remember in Ashante's video, what was the name of that song? See, my days are cold without you, and I'm hurting while I'm with you. Like, she knew, and then at the end she dropped the bag. He talked her back in, you know. So Isabel says, yes, everything the narcs do requires consent. Pretty much. Pretty much. Now, this isn't, of course, like people just attacking people, snipers, and, people. But as far as these relationships go, yeah. Isabel says, can a narc even love? No. No. Mm-mm. Because that's an inside job. So how am I? I'm not loving myself. I'm going to go externally love you? No. I can, what narcissists do is they emulate it. They make it feel like it's real. They give you an illusion. They want to give you that illusion. But that's not love. They can't. They can't. That's an inside job. Katrina S. says, hi. Hello, sweetie. Bill says, a true narc sees everything as a business transaction. They do not love. They love what you provide, but not you. You're a tool. You're a machine. Pretty much. They're very transactional. And here's the thing with that. They're doing this in personal relationships. Now, perhaps in a business relationship, there's a transaction. I pay for a service, you deliver a service. It's not too much feelings involved. We're doing business. But, they're taking that concept and they're putting it in a relationship. Now, there's nothing wrong with gaining from someone, but you're gaining from them, but what the hell are they gaining from your ass? You know what I mean? Like, come on now. It's pretty much robbing and stealing at that point, because if you're lying to get it, you're deceiving to get it, and it's stealing, because they're not, what they're giving you in return is a knockoff, Bio says, you see everything wrong equals gaslighting. Right. Anything that, try to bring them accountability. Foolish. Yes, that's the song, Isabel with Ashante. Foolish. You're right. I love that song too, especially the remix. It's a toxic, it's toxic, but she's describing it, I wonder if she was describing her relationship with Nelly. Things that make me go, because they're back together now after a lot of years apart. Hopefully there's been some growing. I hope it works out in a good way for her, because she's so beautiful. You would think a woman like that, would have a beautiful husband, or whatever floats her boat. But yeah. Isabel says they also only have an issue with a reaction to their behavior and problems to them. Is your reaction no matter what they do? They only have an issue with the reaction to their behavior. Right. Isn't that funny? But, psychologically, I can explain that. Some people, when they're running from themselves, they're running from accountability. Hell yeah, I'll spend my whole day trying to point out other people's flaws. And if I have to, I'll project some of my flaws onto you so I won't have to face them, because I'll convince myself, because they will believe their own lies, that it's you and not me. Like literally this stuff I was doing, I'm going to say you was doing it and really convince myself of that. It's really sick. Of course, they only have an issue with you pointing out their stuff. They're running from themselves and they don't want to grow. They don't want to be fair and square. They don't. And that really sucks. That's why, like, I can't even do it. Like, my energy won't even allow me to indulge in that type of shit. Like, if people, I don't care who they are. It could be one of my children. I've had 6 kids, you guys, and 3 of them are grown. Like if one of them came some BS with me, I love you, son. I love you, daughter, but I can't fuck with that. Like I can't fuck. Number one, I taught you better. But if you're choosing to be that way, mommy's gonna have a boundary. Yeah, I don't let anybody in my life. And if I could do that with my children, I damn sure I could do that in a romantic relationship with any other family member. Like, I'm not playing that. Like, I know what happens when you let the fuckery in. And, I even had an incident with one of my kids, and I was like, I can't be around that. I can't allow you too close to me because you want something right now, you know? And that person is not ready to come out of the wilderness. There's nothing I could do. I didn't talk to you until I was blue in the face at a certain time. I know better. I have to let you go through your process and your journey, but you can't, you ain't gonna be putting that stink on me. Hell no. I don't care who you are. I have a boundary with that. Isabel says she was not with Nelly. She was the side chick of Irv Gotti. Well, yeah, she admitted that she did sleep with him at a certain time. But then I do believe, wait, it was Nelly. Yeah, it was Nelly. Yeah, it's both of them are true. Both of them are true. She was with Nelly, and then when she was first coming on, and then he was so tacky about that, Irv Gotti. He had, number one, he had to shout it to the rooftop that he banged her. Like, he wanted everybody to know. But the way that, it was very tasteless how he did that. Isabel said they even lie about being a victim. They make up stories just so they can play victim to the real victim, right? To the real victim, and also to their family and friends and other supplies. Their image means a lot to them. But yep, they'll try to do it. That's why it's just important not to even participate in that shit, and let them have that. I mean, if you feel like you need to explain yourself or clarify things up or try to clean it to whoever means something to you in that situation, but I wouldn't be trying to convert their flying monkeys over to your team. I was talking about flying monkeys yesterday, and after the live chat, I was thinking about how flying monkeys could be like really jealous. They could be really jealous people. A flying monkey could. They want your position. They could be people that want your position. And there's a lot of flying monkey themes in like politics. Like you could probably see that shit a lot in politics. Come to think about it. Yep. So understand that you really get to decide. So decide. A lot of people through the years, and this is a little weird to me, survivors would say, I'm waiting for the discard. I'm like, what the hell? I said, why don't you break up with them? I mean, sometimes people do a thing. It can be a thing where they'll try to be bad in a relationship to force you to break up with them, and they'll think, well, if it's their idea, maybe they'll stay away. Like maybe it'll be more of a success if I just, they kind of broke up with you already, but they just haven't literally told you. And then they just start dropping the ball, taking things for granted, messing shit up. Like, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, but the way these survivors were doing it, it wasn't like that. They weren't trying to like reverse psychiatry the narcissist into breaking up with them. They were more so really just waiting for the narcissist to discard them, like cooperating in the relationship, going through the cycle of abuse, like waiting for that. That's kind of like saying, I'm gonna allow them to punch me 10 more times. Really? what if your stomach can't even tolerate them 10 more punches? You know, we gotta think like that. Like, sometimes having somebody in your life 1 minute more than you was supposed to could change your life forever. Like, you really need to set a boundary and cut it off. Like, you be the one, and you'll be happy. Like, you'll be happy and have your hold your head up high. Like, I decided. You know, I decided to remove myself out of that situation. Like, take your dignity with you. Um, yeah. So, the other thing I had here on my list is you don't have to raise your partner. Yep, you don't have to raise your partner. That was their mama's job. Their mama and their papa, their family, their caretaker. You don't have to raise your partner. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't put your partner on and stuff. You should be learning stuff from each other. But, you know, teaching people fundamental things that should be at the core of their essence. Yeah. And especially as we get older and people get stuck in their ways. Yeah. Sounds like a headache. Like, just remember, there's billions of people out here, and what one person won't do, another person will. It's a fact. It really is, you guys. You don't have to raise your partner. And that's probably a lot of the issues of, because a lot of times these narcissists, they weren't mothered properly, they didn't have a proper father or just proper caretakers. So subconsciously, they don't even realize they're looking for somebody to mother them. They're looking for the daddy that they never had. They're trying to actually heal their inner wounds in the most toxic manner, but it's not for somebody else to be your wife, to be your mother, for instance, you know? So you should be able to pick up on these things very early on, because this person will probably be very codependent, and they're going to be latching onto your energy so quickly, and they'll become needy very quickly. Like, it'll be very obvious. All right. Now, the other thing I wanted to do was talk about competition, and just understand you can't compete where you don't compare. Like, a lot of people don't recognize their worth properly, and they allow other people to put them in competition. Like, that's crazy. Like, if you're really a queen and a king, like, and you wearing your crown, there's an invisible crown up here on my head, and it never comes the fuck off. Like, once I graduated to a certain level of self-esteem, self-awareness, and emotional maturity, I crowned myself. Sure did. And I'm like, I'll be damned if anybody thinks they're ever going to take my crown off of my head. Point blank, period. Like, when you know yourself and you can stand on that. And I love my imperfections. I love myself exactly where I am right now. And of course, I want to be better in certain ways. I'm not trying to be perfect, because that's impossible. We're not here to be perfect. We're just here to be better. We're here to ascend to higher levels, and you can do that without being perfect. Okay? But, you know, when you understand people can't compete where they don't compare, that's point blank, period. Like, I feel comfortable. Like, if somebody were to leave me, go ahead. You know, go ahead. I know what I'm working with. I know who I am. You know what I mean? So they can't compete where they don't compare, you know? Ain't no dusty ass narcissist going to tell me who I am, you know? And we talked about this yesterday. I think somebody asked why a narcissist tried to talk all this smack about them, and and the same thing the narcissist loved them for, now they hate them for. And I was explaining to them the game, you know, the manipulative nature of that, where of course they love it during the love bomb phase. They're benefiting of it. During the discard phase, they hate it because they know they're about to lose it, and they're resenting it. So if they can make you question it, or, you know, knock you down a few pegs, because their ego is high. They don't want you to have a big ego. Oh no, they don't want you to be confident or overly confident in a goddamn thing, not even your own true fucking gifts. They want you to think you ain't even got that. So if you're not solid within yourself, people will always be able to shake you and you'll be floating like a damn leaf. Like, that's why emotional maturity is so important, you guys. So people can't compete where they don't compare. Like, my lane, God made a lane and it's only for me. Who can compete in my lane that's made for me? Nobody. Nobody. And they also can't compete where they don't compare, where you know what your gifts are, you know what you're working with as well. You can be cocky about that. I think sometimes survivors are too damn humble. Sometimes we're too humble and people get a misconception of that. They think you don't know who you are when you're just calm about it. You're quiet about it. I have a quiet confidence. But people who aren't emotionally mature, they take kindness for weakness. You could be the strongest fucker they ever met. Like, they gonna find out today though, right? They think because you're kind and you have character and morals that, they think you're a sucker. And they gonna find out today. They gonna meet they match. And as a matter of fact, it's only a match in that you become their karma at that point. You definitely become their karma, and they will never forget your ass. I know that I've been many narcissists' karma, and that's my role. Their role is to be a narc. My role is to be a narcissist karma. Like, hey, that's the yin to the yang. It's the natural balance in nature. Somebody has to be it, and I'm trying to create more and more of those people out there, which is why I made this channel. Cynthia said, yes, queen, me too, I crowned myself. Yeah, see, when you put the crown on your head, no one could take that from you. See, somebody else put the crown on your head, when they get mad at you, they'll try to snatch it back. Look, you can't take a crown you never even gave me. That's the crazy thing. You never even gave me the crown. Like, who you think you are? They be thinking they're your maker. Like, what the fuck? Like, you just a human being like me. You in your own classroom flunking tests. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, the audacity. Like, we need to just have, like, the audacity live chat. We just talk about the fuck shit. Like, it really do be the audacity. Like, their inflated sense of self can be astronomical. Like, and there's 8/12. That's my birthday. I'm divinely here right now. When I see my birthday, it lets me know I'm in the right place at the right time. It's a confirmation to me. But they really do have a lot of audacity. Sometimes it becomes laughable, but then it's like, you can only laugh so much, of course, but they have a lot of audacity. Oh my God, when they think they're talented, I've seen narcissists try to project other people's gifts onto them. Like, no. Being close to that person with the gift doesn't mean you have the gift. Like, because they'll try to mimic and everything. Like, not quite, honey. Something's missing out of the formula. It's a knockoff. Ava says, will you save this live? I missed some because my daughter came home. Absolutely. YouTube does re-upload all the lives, so no worries. Isabel says, this happened to me. Yeah, where someone tried to think they was going to knock you down a few pegs and try to take a stab out of your dignity and your self-worth. Yep. Yeah, the funny thing is when you're solid, you could look at them and laugh. Like, you really tried that, didn't you? Because they really will try it, Isabel says, you're so right. They are not emotionally developed. Yep, they're mostly stunted. And they think you are also. And that's why they do stupid things like try to make you jealous. I know, in the most remedial way. and then they see you don't react like you're two and they get mad, right? So, they're a toddler having a tantrum. Only they're like 40 years old with Harry Boss. What the fuck? Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, you too old for that. Um, Isabel says, why are they scared to get diagnosed? Mine was terrified, but he knew he was damaged. Yeah, because if we go back to their image, they don't want to feel like there's something wrong with them. And a lot of narcissists may be afraid of death. I mean, psychopaths, maybe not. Maybe not psychopaths. But the other narcissists, they might have a fear of these types of things. Like, because they know they're going to have to answer. Something inside of them, they know one day they're going to have to answer for these deeds. And they ain't trying to have that day come, yet and still they're not taking the time they're allotted to rectify or correct the behavior, to try to make a shift. Like, they just rocking it until the wheels fall out. But yeah, they get scared to get diagnosed because they don't, if their ego is seeing them as strong and unbeatable and immortal, and like, they don't want to really recognize the real things in life, even when it comes to that, honestly. A lot of them don't. Yeah, they're terrified because really inside there's a scared child in a corner somewhere that needs Jesus, that needs some type of life source. And I had to say God only because a person isn't enough at that point. Like, only God could zap that. Like, a person can't do it, because you couldn't love them out of it, could you? Nope. You took them to all the beautiful water and they didn't drink none of it. All they did was made the water dirty. So, yeah. God has to make a shift in a narcissist. He has to decide to zap that shit. So we talked about you not raising your partner, understanding you're in your own lane and you can't compete, where you don't compare. So them trying to put you up to another supply, like, know who you are and see the beauty in yourself, right? We talked about you are the decision maker of your life, okay? And you get to decide. Like, don't be waiting for nobody to discard you. What is this that I wrote, this last one? Okay, yeah, we talked about you don't have to give people a warning. You don't owe people this drawn out exit from from your life. Sometimes it's just I ain't never talking to them again. Sometimes it's just an immediate block. You know, everybody don't deserve that type of farewell. Okay, don't feel like you owe people that, and you're not being rude. To all my nice people, you're not being rude by handling it that way. You can be sharp. All right. All right, you guys. It is about to be 70 minutes. I'm going to finish the thread here to see if there's any questions. Yeah, Isabel says that's so sad. All right, so I don't see any more questions at this time, you guys. It was great dropping in. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share. I come on here on a daily basis. You guys are basically having access to coaching every day. What? You know how much money people have paid me for coaching? Thousands and thousands and thousands, I swear to you. So trust me. When I come on and do these live chats, use me. I'm at your service. I've helped a lot of people, and I want to continue to pay it forward. Okay. I'll be on again tomorrow at some time in my 24-hour period. Make sure that you are hitting the bell if you want to be able to be notified. Hey, if you ever have a day, something's going on in your life, you want to bounce something off of me, you want some solid advice, I'm here at your service, all right? Always think of a subtopic or something that we could talk about, while I'm answering these questions. You can always request a topic for a live, if you want to give me a suggestion, I'll give it to you. I'll, help you with that. I do read all of my comments, and if I feel like some of them I'll answer through the live chat, as a matter of fact, if I feel like there's enough people in the community that would benefit from hearing the answer. Other than that, part of releasing the trauma in my life is not having all that cortisone in my tummy from being sleep deprived. So I have to do my end of night routine, clean my face, moisturize, and get my behind to bed so that I will continue to be glowing from the inside out. I also have to take my vitamin D3 pills. I just have my own little night routine. And also, I'll sleep with the Bible reading to me all night, or sometimes there's high frequency music that I'll listen to, or just whatever positive. It may be, I have certain videos with like 3 Bible verses looping for 8 hours, and I'll have that on. I'm just letting you guys know like some of the things that I do. I keep frankincense, incense, I burn them, I sage every day of my life, okay? I do spiritual cleanses in my home where I'll mop, and then I'll do a spiritual mop. I have positive talk with myself every day, all day. I'm speaking things into my life. I have gratitude throughout my whole day. Whatever God is giving me, like, man, my arms are open to receive. That may be part of some of the issues with some survivors. They're such givers, they don't know how to be receivers. So healing the trauma of your body is taken in as well, but just taking in healthy things. Learn how to receive good things. Like, you deserve good things, and especially the crazy thing is sometimes when people have had cycle after cycle, person after person, like all my life I had to fight type of energy, they start to feel beat down, like life is against them and they don't deserve stuff. And it's not true, you guys. As a matter of fact, I feel the opposite. It's because you suffered so much. It's because you went through so much. God has to balance that out for you, but allow him to do it by getting out of your way and allowing yourself to get the proper healing that you need, renewing your mind the way that you need to renew it, and having a healthy lifestyle all the way around. And, for some people, it's like, where the hell do I start? Like, my whole life is a shit show, or, it's okay. You don't feel like you have to do everything in 1 second, because that's not typically how life works, where people just go cold turkey and the next day they're just living this perfectly healthy life. Like when I started being more healthy in my life, it actually just started with me drinking more water and less juice. I've never been like a soda person, but I was like learning to drink more water, period. And then once I was learning to drink more water, I learned to drink better quality water. I was like, ooh, my water will count more if it's alkaline, or my water is 2 birds with 1 stone when I throw a lemon in it. Ooh, I could put lemon and ginger inside of it. Like just starting to learn how to like boost myself. Ooh, if I just put a pinch of pink Himalayan salt in my water, that's good for the cells in my body, because the pink Himalayan salt has all of the minerals that are in your cells, so it revitalizes it, which is, the other day I heard about a lady who died from drinking too much water. I was like, whoa, really? And I'm like, they said she drank a half a gallon of water in 20 minutes and that killed her. I was like, really? I was really surprised, but the autopsy really did say that she passed away from drinking too much water. I was like, man, she must have been really small, but half a gallon is 2 liters. I'm sorry, wait. Yeah, 2 liters, because 4 liters in a gallon. Yeah. But I'm like, well, I guess that is a lot of water in 20 minutes. You know, I was like, wow. You rarely hear about a death like that. So, just educate yourself. Maybe if she had little electrolytes in that water, like that pinch of salt, maybe it would have distributed in her body in a different kind of way. But it's never good, honestly, to just gulp your water, and sometimes when you have that thirsty feeling where it just feels like you can't get enough, yes, you may be dehydrated, or you may be drinking, the way that you're hydrating yourself is not to the best ability for your body to absorb it. And also, it could be a sign of diabetes. Sometimes people were pre-diabetic and stuff, they could be really thirsty like that too. There's a lot of reasons for that thirsty feeling. Oh, Ava says, you're welcome. First of all, Isabella says, thank you so much. You're welcome, sweetie. And London says, Isabella London says, thank you so much. And you're welcome. Ava says, do I go to bed early? I don't always go to bed early, but I always balance it to where I have a certain amount of hours of sleep. Like, let's say I'm going to bed at midnight consistently, but I don't have to wake up until 9 a.m. I'm still giving myself, 9 hours here to sleep. So for me, that's good. If I'm able to sleep over 7 hours, if I sleep 8 hours, that's excellent for me. That's excellent for me. You have to figure out what your number is for you. Ava says, do I wake up early? I do. I do, actually, because I work a 9 to 5. And there were times where I would get up super early just for the sake of meditations. And then there were times where I feel like Spirit was waking me up, so God will wake me up. And I know, and I'll share this with you guys too, since I'm on here. If you find yourself waking up at a certain time in the morning, pray right away. Pray right away. I feel like spirits roam better in the wee hours. Is so much calmer. Those are like their waking hours where things are more potent, if you will. So if you wake up in the wee hours and like, this is weird, it's 4 a.m., it's this, pray right away. That is my advice to you. You don't know what could have been trying to attack you, what could have been around you spiritually, or, if God woke you up to do some type of meditation or to read a Bible or whatever your spiritual text is, or to have a conversation with you, he could be waking you up for that too. And you'll know when you're getting these spiritual wake ups because you'll wake up and you'll still be able to go about your day. You'll be like, dang, like I woke up at 4 or 5 a.m. I wasn't really able to fall back to sleep. And I wasn't even tired through the day because God woke you up. He wanted you up, and for whatever that reason is. Now, I'm a very creative person, and most of the books that I have written have been in the wee hours. They've been me writing late at night or very early in the morning. It seems to me like, I don't know, my creativity a lot of times is very heightened. So that is also a tip. And I probably don't have to give that tip to creative people because you guys already know. You guys already know this. If you're a creative person, you're already up on what I'm telling you. That's why if you study like Michael Jackson and Prince, they would say I always had a notepad and a pencil with me. Like Prince was like, I wrote songs on the toilet. Like Michael Jackson, he's like, I had a dream about this. Like they were always a vessel. They always kept themselves spiritually clear to receive their blessings. Like, Michael Jackson, he understood about keeping his creative space clear. What was I watching? I was watching She's Gotta Have It for the second time, the whole series. And there's a character, the girl, We're not going to talk about her lifestyle, where she was just very free and sexual. She was an artist, but one of her male guy friends needed to stay with her. His name was Mars, and he had all these pairs of Jordans and da 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 da. Before he moved in, she had all this beautiful artwork up, and the house was very light and ready for creativity. But once he came in, he had shoes everywhere. He had clothes hanging, and she's like, I can't even work like this. It was creating like a creative block for her because of the clutter, you know. And a survivor inboxed me about decluttering their life, and I was like, that's good, because the clutter a lot of times is a sign of trauma. It's a sign of abuse. A lot of times when people are cluttered like that, just go watch that show. What is that show where people just have hoarders? There's a lot of, that's sad to me. Like when I see somebody sitting with all that, it actually feels so heavy and sad to me. Like I've been on my own journey to declutter, and I'm not a hoarder. I'm not a hoarder at all. But I like to have things cleared as well, you know. But I've bought a lot of stuff, I'll say that. I had a whole storage unit, broke it down, had a yard sale, donated stuff to the Goodwill, went to a flea market, rented a table, tried to sell shit there. I'm still like, I'm basically like on phase 5 of breaking things down. Like the older I'm getting, it's kind of like less is more. Like I love a nice big open space, you know. And I'm still working on it with myself, but I'm working on it, you know. I'm making progress. But yeah, it's so important. Ava says, I do that. I have music or the Bible reading to me in the background. Yeah. Ava says, yes, you need your electrolytes. You do. You do. Especially in the summertime. I mean, all the time, but, you know, in the summer where we're sweating more. Usually, anyway. Ava says, that's a lot. I never sleep that much. I sleep about 7, 8 tops. But that's good. If you sleep in 7, 8 tops, that's really good. Ava says, God wakes me up at 5:30. I have to start praying when that happens. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you guys, you don't have to wait until the new year to declutter. Like, you can do that anytime, okay? And for a person like me, like, I'm working on it with myself too. I am. But I do, like, I want a bigger house as well. Not to have more stuff, but I just want a big house because I need more space, but not for more stuff, if that makes sense. But I'm in the process of decluttering before I make that move, because most of this stuff I'm not even taking with me. Like, I'm not. I'm going to get new living room set, a new kitchen set. You know, a lot of things are going to be new. I'm just going to take my books, my clothes, my shoes, and, you know, like my makeup, you know, things like that. So, but yeah, I'm decluttering, you guys. And it feels good. Like, I'm to the point where I can't even sleep if I feel like my room is too out of place. I'm like, I gotta do this and that first. Like, I won't feel comfortable. Like, I just can't do it. Just can't do it. But all right, you guys. Yeah, let's all work on continuing, you know, being our better versions. Not a perfect version, just better. Better. Better than I was yesterday. You know, I'm better than I was a year ago, I tell you that much. And I knew a lot then. Like, I started this channel how long ago now? 5 years, 6 years ago? I started this channel 6 years ago. Yeah, I did. So, and I've come a long way even since then. So that's because I'm always a student of life. So, yeah. I'm looking at my books over there because I just added a book to my book collection a couple days ago. I was at BJ's, and you know how they have like the table of books? And I walk by, I'm like, no, I'm not going to look. I'm not going to look. And I look, and then I just start browsing, because I love to collect books, and I love to collect beautiful notebooks. So that's 2 things that may be boring to you guys. I don't know. But anyway, it caught my attention, Einstein's autobiography. I was like, I wonder what I don't know about him. I feel like I know a lot about him, but I wonder what I don't know. So I'm curious to eventually read that book. Sitting over there. Mhm. It's pretty big too. Like, whoa. I'm like, he had a lot of living going on. So, but I have my water, you guys, which I shouldn't be drinking too much before I go to bed because I don't want to have to wake up to pee. That'll interrupt my sleep, now that I'm 42 and I've had twins. Yeah, and 6 kids. Yeah. So, but I take B1 vitamins for my bladder because that does strengthen your muscles in your bladder. I learned that from a doctor. And exercising, doing my Kegels. And like I said, not overloading my bladder before I go to bed, but because I've done so much talking, I just want to have just a couple of swigs, just a couple. Ava said this was a very nice live. Thank you so much. Oh, well, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I enjoy it. I'm a very sociable, introverted person. I know that sounds so oxymoronish. Like, which one are you? But I'm very social when it comes to the channel. That makes sense. I like talking to you guys. Ava says, what can I take for arthritis? Well, you definitely need to do stuff for bone health. I'm gonna show you what I take, because since my vitamin thing is right here. And I take this because I'm a thick woman. So, even though I've started riding bikes and stuff, so I know I'm getting a little slimmer, but some things, I'm going to always have a booty, okay? I'm going to always have a booty, you guys. But this right here, Osteo Biflex, sweetie, this is really good for joint health and bone health, okay? You will start feeling, and you can get this at CVS, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor now. So you could definitely go see your doctor first. So I don't want to, trump a doctor. But man, with all this booty I'm toting around, I could bend down. I don't feel my bones cracking. My joints feel oiled. Okay, like the Tin Man on that Wizard of Oz when Dorothy slide some oil to me. I love the black version of the Oz. It's so flavorful. But this right here, girl, woo, I love this for my joints. Take 2 of these a day, and you're going to be feeling like a spring chicken. You're going to be hopping around like a frog, ready to do Pilates, which I want to get into that too. I want to get into stretching, part of releasing the trauma from the body. And we didn't talk about this part of it, stretching. Just stretching, because when you have trauma in your body and you're stressed, you're tightened up. Your muscles clench. So learning how to actually stretch and hold these stretches, baby, you're gonna be feeling like so loose. Like, people are always so focused on the workout, which all things, work together. But just learning how to stretch. Yeah, and it's not the cheapest thing at the pharmacy. I will admit, these are like $30, $40 a bottle, but this one has 80 capsules. You take 2 a day, so it's 40 days worth, so it's almost like $1 a day. You're worth $1 a day, right? And what's inside of it is vitamin D3 and some stuff that I can't pronounce because I'm not Dr. Oz. I mean, I could show you it. Does it? Oh, it's not even, it would have to be like, I know it's not showing you guys like in the right way because I'm on a cell phone. But yeah, Osteo Bioflex. You definitely want to do that, okay? And whatever your triggered areas are, I would definitely probably make sure the blood flow is good there, massaging those areas. Like my aunt, she's been braiding everybody's hair since we were little kids, and she doesn't like to braid hair anymore because she feels like she has like carpal tunnel. She's like, I done braid so many kids, cornrow, this and that. My fingers, they like, girl, I don't think so. So, stuff like this happens. It happens to athletes, when they're using that same muscle over and over and over when you work in an office, And then arthritis could definitely be hereditary. So, along with doing that, yeah, just making sure you're having your calcium, and vitamin K helps you absorb calcium. I learned that. So, and you're already getting your vitamin D3 from here. So just start researching things for joint health and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, well, be careful with your knees. You might not want to be pounding it on the treadmill. You might want to do, more lower impact cardio, so that you're not like overdoing it. So, yet again, I'm not a doctor, but these are common sense things that I'm going to tell you guys. Because whoever made it to this part of the video, I'm going to tell you guys a fun fact that I've never revealed on this channel. I played basketball in college, you guys, D1. So I've been an athlete in my life, which is probably why at a certain point I just rebelled against working out. I'm like, I feel like by the time I finished playing basketball in college, that I worked out for a lifetime. Like, how many basketball games, how many drills, how many miles, and I'm flat-footed too, that I've run, and I'm like, oh my God, like, don't you ask me to work out again. And God was like, that's not how life works. You got to use your body before you lose it. So you better get your ass moving, girl. Get your behind moving. Ava says, I have a meniscus tear now. Can't really walk without a cane. Yeah, so you definitely better follow your doctor's orders so that, your tear can heal. You definitely have to follow it. But I would definitely start on that. And I'm surprised that he's not having you, make sure you're taking those right supplements, because it's kind of like feeding it. It's like liquid gold for those areas. Yeah. All right, you guys, I'm really going to hang up this time. Thank you for stopping by. I will be on a live again tomorrow. It's always great to catch up with you guys. And I'll be back tomorrow. It may not be necessarily at the same time now. So make sure you hit your subscribe, and make sure you're notified if you want to come and, hang out with me and talk about emotional maturity and all the things we do during these times. All right. All right, you guys, take care. I love you. Have a good night. Have a good morning wherever you are. Be intentional with your life. Yes, intentional. Don't just know things. Put it into work. All right. I know people have been sitting on my channel and they know everything inside out what they should be doing, and they're not moving on it. So be action oriented, you guys. Now is the time. Now is the time. Ava says, thank you for everything. You're the best. Bless you. Thank you. You guys are the best too. All right. You've given me a lot as well. Don't think this is a one-sided thing. I appreciate you guys' positive energy as well. Yep. Hope to see you tomorrow. Yep. God willing, we're going to do it. We're going to do this. All right. Take care, you guys.